Hey guys, so in today's lecture of energy conservation, how we can recover the heat, in today's lecture we are going to start a new topic. In last lecture we have seen cogeneration. So in today's lecture we will see HVAC, that is that is how we can save energy in heating, ventilation and air conditioning and refrigeration systems. So how we can save energy in the systems. So heating, ventilation, and air conditioning is a technology of indoor and vehicular environment comfort. Means you can install ACs and heating devices indoor in houses or also in vehicles for comfort. That is in AC cars and buses. So it is our goal to provide thermal comfort. So our goal is to provide thermal comfort and an acceptable indoor air quality, and also air quality should be acceptable. So this is our goal before changing anything. So so HVAC is an important part of residential structures, as such as single family homes, apartment buildings, hotels and senior living facilities, medium to large industrial and office buildings such as skyscrapers, hospitals, onboard vehicles, and in marine environments where safe and healthy building conditions are regulated with respect to temperature and humidity using fresh air from outdoors. So this is of HVAC. Now let's come to ventilation. So ventilation is the process of exchanging or replacing air in any space to provide high indoor air quality, which involves temperature control, oxygen replenishment, removal of moisture, odors, smoke, heat, dust, airborne bacteria, carbon dioxide, and other gases. So, ventilation removes unpleasant smells and excessive moisture, introduces outside air, keeps interior building air circulating, and prevents stagnation of the interior air. So, refrigeration deals with the transfer of heat transfer of heat from low temperature to high temperature or heat source level at the heat sink by using a low boiling refrigerant by using low boiling refrigerant. Two principles types of refrigeration plants are found in industrial use, that are VCR, it is vapor compression refrigeration, and VAR, that is vapor absorption refrigeration. So VCR uses mechanical energy as driving force for refrigeration, while uh, VAR VCR uses mechanical energy, while VAR uses thermal energy as a driving force for refrigeration. So we will discuss VAR in detail and how we can save the energy. So let's start with vapor absorption system, that is VAR. So, vapor absorption system. Refrigeration comprises of all processes in vapor compression system. Systems like compression, condensation, expansion, evaporation, everything. So, but in vapor absorption system, the refrigeration is refrigerant used is ammonia, water, or lithium bromide. So the refrigerant gets condensed in the condenser and it gets evaporated in the evaporator. The refrigerant produces cooling effect in the evaporator and releases the heat to the atmosphere via condenser. So now we will just define the function of the components of the absorption system. So first is condenser. So in condenser, the refrigerant enters at a high pressure through the expansion valve. Its pressure and temperature reduces. Pressure and temperature reduces. Pressure and temperature reduces and gets condensed. Similarly, to vapors compression system. So the condenser is a water cooled type. So this is a water cooled type condenser. So it condenses with the help of water. Then second is expansion valve. So expansion valve, when the refrigerant passes through this valve, it pressure and temperature. So in expansion valve, the pressure and temperature is reduced suddenly. Refrigerant passes through the expansion valve, its pressure and temperature reduces suddenly, and this refrigerant, lithium bromide or ammonia, then enters the evaporator. So here in condenser, generally just temperature is reduced, but here in expansion valve, pressure and temperature both are reduced. So here will be pressure and temperature both are reduced. So high pressure to low pressure and high temperature to low temperature. Then the third component is evaporator. So in evaporator, the evaporator, the refrigerant at a very low pressure and temperature enters the evaporator and produces the cooling effect. In vapor compression cycle, this refrigerant is sucked by the compressor. But here in absorption cycle, the refrigerant flows to the absorber that acts as a suction part of the refrigeration cycle. So here absorber absorber will suck the refrigerant. Then fourth is absorber. So absorber is a sort of a vessel. Absorber is a sort of a vessel consisting of water. So it is consisting of water that acts as the absorbent. So water is absorbent. So which will absorb the refrigerant and previous absorbed refrigerant. Thus absorber consists of a weak solution of the refrigerant and absorbent. Water in this case. So when refrigerant from evaporator enters the absorber, so when refrigerant enters the absorber, that is absorber, it is absorbed by the absorbent, due to which the pressure inside the absorber reduces, further leading to more flow of refrigerant from evaporator to the absorber. So more flow will happen. So at high temperature, water absorbs lesser ammonia. So that is, at high temperature the absorption will be reduced. So hence it is cooled by the external coolant. So external coolant is required to cool it to increase its absorption capacity. So to increase the capacity of absorption. So this is the function of absorber. Now the fifth component, that is pump. So what is the use of the pump? So when the absorbent absorbs the refrigerant, strong solution of refrigerant absorbent, that is ammonia, refrigerant and absorbent, that is water, is formed, and this solution is pumped by the pump at a high pressure. So it is pumped at a high pressure to the generator, and thus pump increases the pressure of the solution to a 10 bar. So up to 10 bar it increases the pressure. Then the sixth component is a generator. So what does generator does? So refrigerant and ammonia solution, this solution, ammonia and water solution in the generator is heated. This is heated with the help of an external source. It is heated with the help of external source. This can be steam, hot water, or any other suitable source. Due to heating, the temperature of the solution increases. The refrigerant in the solution gets vaporized, so and it leaves at the high pressure. So after heating, this refrigerant will leave will leave and will leave the solution at a high pressure, and the high pressure and high temperature refrigerant then enters the condenser. So this refrigerant will enters the condenser, so where it is cooled by the coolant, and it then enters the expansion valve, and then finally into the evaporator, where it produces the cooling effect. The refrigerant is then again absorbed by the weak solution in the absorber. So this process keeps on going on. So this was the whole process of vapor absorption system. So now, so this is just a block diagram of the vapor absorption cycle system. So this compressor, generator, this evaporator, sorry, condenser, generator, evaporator, and absorber, and this is pump. So the water vapor carried with ammonia is will be removed in rectifier, and only dehydrated in ammonia gas enter in the condenser. So the cooled NH3 solution is passed through the throttle valve. So it is passed through a throttle valve. So this is expansion valve or throttle valve, and the pressure and the temperature of the refrigerant are reduced below the temperature to be maintained in the evaporator. Low temperature refrigerant enters the evaporator and absorbs uh, the, the required heat from the evaporator. It absorbs the required heat and leaves the evaporator as a saturated vapor. Slightly superheated low pressure NH3 is absorbed in the weak solution of ammonia, which is spread in the absorber. So weak ammonia solution entering the absorber becomes strong solution after absorption of ammonia vapor, and it is pumped to the generator. So it is pumped to the generator. So this is pumped to the generator via pump through the heat exchanger. So through the heat exchanger. So the pump increases the pressure of the strong solution. So this will increase the pressure of the strong solution to generate pressure. The strong NH3 solution coming from the absorber absorbs heat from high temperature NH3 solution in the heat exchanger and the solution in the generator becomes weak as NH3 comes out of it. So here also. So the solution in the generator will become weak. So here in the generator the solution will become weak as NH3 vapors comes out of it. So NH3 vapor is coming, so it is becoming weak. So this weak high temperature solution from generator is passed to the heat exchanger through a throttle valve. It is passed through the heat exchanger through a throttle valve, uh, and the pressure of the liquid is reduced to the absorber. So it is reduced to the absorber here, uh, absorber pressure by the throttle valve. So it is passed through the throttle valve, and it is again then pumped. So this is the process of vapor absorption refrigeration system. So we will just plot numerous differences between vapor compression cycle and vapor absorption cycle. So we'll just prepare a table. It is VCR and VAR. So what are the differences? So first difference, that is uses low grade energy like heat. So it uses heat as energy, while vapor absorption system uses sorry so here in VCR it uses high grade energy. Compression system uses high grade energy, that is mechanical work, and VAR uses low grade energy, that is heat. Then second point is operation is noisy, will be noisy as more number of moving parts are there because there is a compressor, so it will be noisy. Here use smooth will use smooth operation as only pump is the moving part. Then third, here the system is a evaporator pressure decreases. If the evaporator pressure decreases, the COP will also decrease. But in absorption cycle, system can also work in low evaporator pressure. It does not affect COP. So no effect on COP. Then fourth, performance is adversely affected at partial load. So when it is partial load, so the performance is adversely affected. So COP goes down. Work well in partial load. So it will work well in partial load when the load is partial. So these are the main differences between VCR and VAR system. So this was uh, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning and refrigeration system. So as we have discussed, uh, what is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, what are the types VAR and VCR. If you've seen vapor absorption system, its block diagram, and also the difference between VCR and VAR. So these are few important points which we should know before getting before understanding how we can recover heat from the system. So we need to first study the system. So this was the basic aspects of the system of VAR cycle. So how it works, and how where we can what are the opportunities where we can save the energy. So in the next lecture we will see factors affecting refrigeration and air conditioning system performances, and also uh, energy saving opportunities in this refrigeration system. So these two topic will be our next for the next lecture. So I hope you understood each and everything in refrigeration system and what are the refrigerant. So hope to see you in the next lecture. Thank you very much.